For this week video, we are going to talk about Caleb Desnoyers. He's probably the best prospect out of Quebec since Alexis Lafrenière in 2020. Over the past 2 years, he has built quite the winning pedigree. He has won at the U17 Challenge, the U18, and also at the Linka this summer. And he played a key role on each of those teams, so it goes without saying that this track record will probably attract some NHL team for the draft. Right now, he currently has 84 points in 66 games, but he's facing slightly less competition in the queue. He's playing in a weaker division, so it could weigh against him, but at the same time, he has like 20 points more than the second closest scorer on his team, so for a 17 years old, it's pretty impressive. For me, it's the passion that drives Desnoyers that represents what I love the most about this player. In every game that he plays, it's clear that nothing else matters but his craft. No matter the importance of the game, he will do every little details that you need in order to win the game. Every prospect are kinda trained by their agent about what to say before or after a game for media interview and etc. However, it is not every prospect that their on-ice plays is consistent with their off-ice words. In Desnoyers' case, there's a real harmony between his words and his actions. He is what I would call a workhorse. You can always count on him to do the tough jobs. He works tirelessly to take the puck away from his opponents while engaging the body. He will carry the puck even with a rival on his back to ensure a zone exit. And he is strong on the puck in the corners and behind the net.
Down the right side it goes. Puck behind the net. Schmidt is battling for it. Puck comes back. Desnoyers sends it to the
blue line for the Cats at the net. Fleming will steer that aside. Desnoyers in the corner, eluding the checking of number 3, Daniele. Outsteps Desnoyers along the blue line, across the blue line to Fortier-Gendron. He'll fire one wide intentionally. Came it.
He is the forward who has shown the most consistency throughout the season at finishing his body checks. He doesn't cheat on any of his shift and executes the coach game's plans to perfection, always making sure to keep his opponents honest and to bring his teammates with him into the fight. And the impact on some of those hits was pretty impressive.
Off the boards, he'll try to join the rush. Fi, it slipped into the Moncton zone. Dylan McKinnon. Caleb Desnoyers going right to the penalty box. He looks a bit surprised by the call. Going into the corner, Desnoyers. Good hit on Phillips.
He's got the Islanders' goal, kept in by Stump. Tries to lay it into the slot. Vellante turns it back down.
Malofsky, Willard takes it now. There's the shot. Steinman turned that aside. Ricard behind the net. Good, solid takeout in the corner by Desnoyers.
Like Phillips might have caught a rather sprung.
So there's a lot of connections here to Charlottetown. He signed a 2-year deal with Swedish Elite League. So that
Desnoyers is also a player that takes a real pleasure at getting under his opponent's skin. He taunts his opponents after goals.
And the 6'2" centerman puts it in. 1-1 tie here at the Avenir.
He tries to send his opponents to the penalty box after the whistle. And he's even chirping the other team goalie. This is by no means a surprise, but Desnoyers to me just seems to be the ultimate team guy. Just look at his reaction when one of his teammates who isn't used to score goals happen to score a goal. He's almost happier than when he scores a goal himself. He's also often praising his teammates on the ice, so his goaltender after a save, or a teammate that just gives him a scoring chance even if the puck didn't went in. But no sequences can encapsulate how Desnoyers is perceived by his teammates other than this one. With only a 1-goal lead, Desnoyers put his body on the line and blocked a shot in the dying seconds of the game. As soon as the game ended, all of his teammates came off the bench and went directly to him instead of the goalie. To me, it shows exactly what kind of teammate he is. Despite my liking for the intangibles that he brings, I find myself being more critical of his offensive skills. Overall, his wrist shot is pretty decent. He makes a good use of it on the left circle on the power play.
Grenier back to Desnoyers. There's the shot. Save, score! Julius Moncton 7. The Sea Dogs 5.
It's out here. Grenier, he'll dish it off. Denoyer shoots and scores. All pick. The high slot. Nathan Grenier right off of that draw. Handing it out there to Denoyer.
But I think his greatest quality as a shooter is how he reads the unfolding play. He knows how to get open at the right time in heavy traffic.
On the right side. Grenier was looking rink wide. The reach at Desnoyers, but some bumped it there in front. A chance now denied.
But as a center, I really like how he understands when to leave the middle lane and go position himself behind the puck carrier as a trading option.
Passe, mais le disque s'éloigne de lui et c'est la relance de Morin. Remise rapide. Pekarchuk remet en retrait. Feinte de tir, lancé dans un angle. Tenté par Sumpf. Ça a été bloqué par Lasselle. Au retour, Pekarchuk. Il va d'une remise pour...
However, I wouldn't consider Desnoyers to be a naturally gifted shooter. First, he's not really comfortable at taking shots while in movement. This is because he doesn't have the ability to take a shot off one of his foot. He relies too much on static position. To set up his shot, he often has to pivot his hips perpendicular to the net, so facing the board, wasting precious time and making his shot predictable. Despite playing at different positions, Adam Jiricek had the same flaw last year.
Kachuk and Cote. Here's Desnoyers in front. The shot blocked in front by the...
And if there's one aspect of his game I'm afraid I'm being too critical on, it's probably his passing skills. And yet again, it's not that I don't like this facet of his game, it's just that I think there's some limitation to it. He does a pretty good job at spotting open passing lane, and he's able to connect with teammates with a fairly good ease using cross-ice passes.
You see Victoriaville with 28 points, followed by Gatineau. Vidicek takes the check to get it to Desnoyers in front, centering it to Vidicek, it's loose.
Le tiré tourne sur lui-même. Caleb Desnoyers, fin de tir, passe sur sa droite à Loshing. Pour la ligne début, Mercier rejoint Desnoyers. Transversal à Loshing. Loshing pour Desnoyers. Desnoyers transversal devant le tir, belle puissance. À Desnoyers, le long de la ligne bleue maintenant. Passe sur sa droite, tire sur réception. Tir. Dribble avec la rondelle. Passe sur sa gauche à Desnoyers, transversal côté droit, le tir sur réception. Au point d'appui à Desnoyers. Desnoyers s'avance lentement. Passe sur sa droite à Pekarchuk. La remise à faire en première période. Quel tir de Julius Schumpf. Laissé seul dans le haut de l'enclave. Réception. Et Caleb Desnoyers.
Grenier just inside the blue line. Over to Desnoyers. Into the slot.
The blue line. Back to Caleb Desnoyers. Across the blue line. Slides it over. Desnoyers. One-timer. They score. Loose.
However, those are system plays that are already planned. And is a bit too dependent on those plays at my liking, and it reminds me a bit of Consta Elenius last season. It was one of the issues I had with him, but I still think that Desnoyers has a bit more option in his arsenal than Elenius, but his intention can become predictable at times. At one point this season, the Moncton head coach tried to reshuffle his pieces a bit, so he moved some pieces on the power play. So Desnoyers found himself at the right circle instead of the left one, and we could see him somewhat disoriented. In fact, as soon as he received the puck on the right circle, his instinct told him to go right back to the left one where he is used to play. So it shows me that he's being reliant on set play to use his playmaking. For me, this is due to a lack of adaptability. Desnoyers lacks resources when his primary intention is unable to materialize. In his case, a lack of dynamic footwork, a lack of poise, and somewhat of a discomfort at challenging defenders in tight spaces mean that he is forced to force some pass when it would be wiser to find another solution. This happens quite often when he's along the board and the lack of skating agility prevents him from turning back and readjusting his strategy.
Au point d'appui, ça revient à Desnoyers. Desnoyers s'avance. Transversal intercepté par Roy.
Picking it up on the run is Desnoyers. Desnoyers, right wing pass to Pekaczyk over the line. Pekaczyk will drop it to Desnoyers. His centering pass blocked.
And the right wing now for Desnoyers, who's got the Mooseheads blue line, and he takes a solid bump there.
He also lacked the same composure that natural playmaker possess. Too often, he attempts a pass as soon as he thinks that one of his teammates is free when that's not quite the case.
It along the boards. Desnoyers jumps into the play. He's got it on the half wall. Now for Collar in the slot.
De la pointe, plutôt de la chance qui sera bloquée, alors que la pointe lui.
Pass Pekaczyk through center. He'll dish it off to Desnoyers trailing. Desnoyers flies in behind the net. Handle stays with him. And to go in the second period. Shot in by the Cats. Loose puck side of the net. Kept in by Collard. Desnoyers picks it up. Desnoyers inside the blue line. Looking Pekaczyk to pass a bit too high. Grenier centered again to Collard. Knocked away by Cape Breton. Was come the Cats. 25 seconds to go. Desnoyers in front of the net looking for Grenier.
He's also guilty of some mapping mistakes, so the mental map that he makes of different players' position on the ice isn't accurate, so he sends the puck where there is no one.
And out to center ice comes Loshing, feeds it through. Desnoyers, pass intercepted by Desnoyers at center for Moncton. Here comes Desnoyers with a burst of speed, puts it towards the front of the net, steered.
The final criticism I would have with his passing habits is that he relies too heavily on the lateral passing option, especially at even strength. He's not the most comfortable player at maneuvering in open space, and he's not necessarily the type of player that will challenge defender in one-on-one situations. So he has developed this tendency at playing north-south, and the only option that open up to him are lateral passing options, so it makes him quite predictable when he's coming down the wing.
Mercier down the right side. He'll center it. Pekaczyk in front to Mercier. Trying to get us straight up the ice. It'll be Desnoyers cutting across the circle in front, looking for Pekaczyk. Cote at center with Desnoyers. 3 Wildcats over the line to Morin. There's the shot. Pads off the boards. It's at the Moncton bench. Lavoie stepping into Pekaczyk. Loose puck gobbled up by Desnoyers. He'll power in down the left side. Desnoyers centers it right through the crease. Off wing. His second tonight and 6th, 5th in 2 games. There's the replay. It'll bounce out to center. Desnoyers, Loshing, 2-on-1. Desnoyers to Loshing, the shot, they score!
The opportunity here to be the player that he wants to be. Right back in again, trying to feed it across.
Ironically enough, I'm less critical of his skating than what you might read online. I don't really have a problem with his pace. Of course, I would like to see him use different speed and tempo to his game, but his top speed per se doesn't bother me at all.
Gill envoie derrière, alors que Pekaczyk s'amène chez le Phoenix. A de la vitesse, c'est plutôt Desnoyers, tire au filet, bloc.
Qui envoie derrière, on arrache le disque dans le joueur du Drakkar, mais rapidement Drakkar s'empare à nouveau de la rondelle. On entre du côté gauche, Gilbert ennuyé.
The problem with his skating is that his stride frequency isn't very high. In his case, it's the recovery phase that is lacking in his skating. So this is the part when you bring back your thighs towards your hips, and in his case, it's very slow. And Desnoyers is still pretty raw physically. He's 6'2 and 180. So spending more time in the gym over the next few summers, he could do specific work targeting his hip flexors, and it could probably help him with his skating frequency. To be honest, I don't really see the top 6 upside with Desnoyers, but at the end of the day, those terms are pretty arbitrary. So the definition of a top 6 player for me is not the same as a top 6 player for you or for anybody else for that matter. And even in the NHL, when you take a look at the top 10 teams in the league and you go through their roster, you will find players that doesn't necessarily fit the narrative of a top 6 player. So I try to keep an open mind with Desnoyers, but still to me he's a third line center on a good team. And speaking of that, he has played all three positions at forward this year, and to me, he has what it takes to stick at center. He has the attention to details, his overall hockey sense is pretty good, and he's not the type of player who will sacrifice defensive play in order to produce more offense. But if there's a scenario where he ends up playing as a left wing, then he can play on your second line. So that's it for Desnoyers' video. The next one is going to be on Anton Frondel, and it will probably come out already this weekend, so I'm working tirelessly pretty hard on that, so I hope you enjoy and see you next time.
Club. Julius Sump is 1 point back. Sump at the game here tonight with Team Germany. They're playing tomorrow with Slovakia. At 2, a little dish off to Pekarczyk. He's have a look. Down low to Desnoyers. Front of the net, they score! Desnoyers!
Sort de son territoire, traverse le centre, dégage en territoire ennemi avec 2 minutes 50. On va surveiller Desnoyers. Un coup de ball.
Back the other way comes Desnoyers. Into the St. John territory, Desnoyers stops, feeds it, cross ice to...
Passé par la clôture à Mataiko, ça a été intercepté. Coughlin qui chute devant.
Et ramené en territoire du Phoenix. Une passe maintenant. Et on s'amène. Une belle feinte. C'est Desnoyers là, Desnoyers qui récupère sur la ligne rouge. Desnoyers pousse.
Carlos Handel on defense. Knocked off the puck by Desnoyers. Solid hit there by through center to Sump. Nice outlet pass. Desnoyers moves in. Trying to get by a couple. There's a shot. Just 14-17 to go. Moncton 40 drives. Mooseheads 15. Center. Sean Cartier over the line, giving it to Kilfoyle. Taken in solidly in the corner. Pekarczyk knocked off the puck there by Goyette.
Good. And our finish in your checks, Moncton will take advantage of you last night. Islanders were out hit last night by the Eagles. There's Denoy. If you're waiting.
Along with Desnoyers, Collard, and Pekarczyk. Stolen again by Desnoyers. He'll move in on the backhand, turning the other way, back to the blue line.
Grenier. Grenier rapidement, là, il va d'une belle remise à gauche, un tir et bel arrêt de Pearson. C'est récupéré à nouveau par Moncton dans le coin. La passe de l'autre côté. Et là, ne peut dégager comme il faut, c'est Desnoyers qui est là. Ils en échec de Prudhomme. Il y a collision. Attention, Desnoyers a de l'espace. Desnoyers une feinte. Donne l'espace. Beau jeu. Desnoyers envoie le vent. Un tir de Smith bloqué par...
Derrière son filet, Morrison reprend. Desnoyers vient le mettre en échec. Sumpf en échec avant. Courte passe à Smith derrière le but. Morrison s'interpose devant Desnoyers. En échec avant, Pekarczyk fait dévier vers Desnoyers. Tireur à la glace pour Sumpf. Sur l'aile droite à Desnoyers. Desnoyers s'amène en zone ennemi, coupe au filet. Tir bloqué par Deno. Pekarczyk au retour. Bel arrêt! 3-2. Deno a quand même fait 2 arrêts sur cette séquence avant que l'attaquant allemand des Wildcats ne réussisse à pousser la rondelle derrière. À jouer en deuxième, Moncton reprend les devants pour une deuxième fois dans le match. C'est 3-2 la marque. Exactement 57 secondes après que les remparts eurent au centre. La tête bien haute, s'amène dans le territoire des remparts. En entrée de zone, le tir est bloqué par Wright.
Simon Mullen has a good look around the one-timer by on a minor penalty, so the Cats are back on another Subway power play, trailing 1-0. Desnoyers comes over the line. Desnoyers through center. Desnoyers over the blue line. Desnoyers turns.
Goga. McKinnon knocks it out at his own blue line. Now Moncton 3-on-1. Get it across for Sump. With it. Kluche up there forechecking. Perron coughs that up. Moncton have it now. Desnoyers over the blue line. Dishes off for Johansson. Transition it out to center ice. Over the blue line now for the Wildcats. That's Desnoyers. Drop pass to Forcheck on the play. Players are tangled up back at the Wildcats.
Yeah, Moran blocking the line. He'll hand off there to Desnoyers. A shot knocked home in front. Marcus Vidicek scores. He'll send that one down behind the net. Desnoyers got it. He tries to center it up. Snaps a pass up ahead to Sump. Sump moving it now for Desnoyers. Little try to slip a pass through there. Sump leaving it now for Desnoyers, who's driving, trying to center one. Face up. Mullen is going to work it up ice now for Desnoyers. Just 3 seconds remaining.
This in the game. Collard in front to Desnoyers, the shot, and he hoisted it high. Cross the blue line to Desnoyers. Desnoyers pulling away from his checker. Desnoyers at the blue line to Desnoyers. Desnoyers moving in. There's the shot off the middle. Centered by Moncton. Desnoyers throws it across to the open right side. There's a shot. Through the middle. Sump takes the pass in front to Desnoyers. There's the shot. Robin going in to fetch it. Nice move by number 6, Matt McLean.
Hey, made is it's going to be Hickey. Isles cough it up. Scores! Moncton finally. Conrad with his stepping back in again. Big hand shot. This one perhaps off the post.
Desnoyers controlling things now. Down low at the goal line. In front, there's a shot.
Mullen turns it back, and out to center ice comes Desnoyers against Tivy. Desnoyers feeds it through and
Grenier will move in front to Desnoyers, side of the net. Can they put it in the open side? Desnoyers, Etienne Baudin not shooting. Desnoyers shoots, blocked in front, rebound, another shot high, and that looking for Desnoyers. Desnoyers will charge back in the Armada zone. In behind the net, stolen by Desnoyers. Picard, as always, Desnoyers will take the pass through center. Nice move over the blue line. Cuts around his man Lemieux, centered by Desnoyers. Gill shooting.
C'est après ça que ça va peut-être être il va d'une remise à Morin. Morin à Desnoyers. Desnoyers entre et son tir de la clôture s'est intercepté. Desnoyers, la rondelle lui revient. Et le but qui est marqué.
The other way for Moncton. 3-on-2 for the Cats. Desnoyers into the Eagles zone. Cutting to the slot. A shot goes off the high goal. Mercier. Here's Sump up the left wing. He puts on the brakes. He'll slip the puck down for Desnoyers. Shifty Caleb Desnoyers. Pass in front. They score. Vissa Kolar.
Passé dans le coin, ce sera intercepté. Et là, le jeu là, qui est effectué, on s'amène avec Desnoyers sur le flanc gauche. Desnoyers, regarde ses options. Passe devant. Rondelle qui revient.
Up the right side for Sump for Desnoyers. 12 seconds left in the period. Desnoyers pass across Pekarchik. Oh, he puts it.
By Julius Sump. He'll throw one to Pekarchik. Side of the net. Desnoyers turns in front. Pad save. 9 points. Busting in is Pekarchik. He'll center it to Desnoyers.
Now for Desnoyers. Back to Morin once again. He finds Pekarchik to Desnoyers. The one-time by Cloutier right in front of the Moncton bench. In deep for Desnoyers. He throws it out front for Cloutier. Blue line to Pekarchik. Cross ice to Desnoyers.
Get to Pekarchik. In front to Desnoyers. A shot. Whoa. For 29, Quinn who busted in and got a high wrist shot. Here comes Pekarchik. Back to Desnoyers. Front of the net. Goaltender to check at the circle. Down low. Desnoyers centers one through the crease. And the 19-year-old Munich, Germany centerman get
in rush 3 on throw. In back is going to be Desnoyers trying to feed it right wide to the right wing. And this one sent all the way back on side, trying to drive back in. There's a Desnoyers with a shot. Here is going to be Desnoyers. Mid blue line, there's a drive. Scores! This one jumping out to a quick 2-0 lead. Down that right wing again, going center, driving in. Desnoyers.
3. Desnoyers swings out of the corner, centering pass in front, the quick shot. Before the period's over. 4-0 Moncton. Here comes Gabe Smith through center. Hub City Smitty will drop it in front. Desnoyers dishing it off. There's a shot. They score. Pekarchik. Down low. Desnoyers shooting. Arm save. Lavoie.
Caleb Desnoyers a bien anticipé le jeu et s'avance. Un tir, ça
through center. Losing it to Desnoyers. Desnoyers over the line. Moving in. Loshing a shot. Where is it? Down goes back. Lost it back at the blue line. Coming it in nicely. Desnoyers. Centered in front. Pad save. Beckman. Desnoyers. That's why we come out and support exciting hockey in the QMJHL. Moncton part of the CHL for 28 years. Centered. There's a shot. They score. Loshing from 10.